Alright, so maybe my Atma video was a little on the nose with the whole dystopian capitalist hellscape thing. Maybe I was in a tumultuous financial situation. Maybe I actually found RPGs at the time to be a cathartic assertion of control over my own life under the pretense of caring at all about the players having a fun time. Fine, I admit it. I have used my videos to vent a lot of pessimism over capitalism, climate, and corporation-related Armageddon. So to take a break from that, I wanted to talk about the new Borg installment from Stockholm Cartel, Cyborg, a cyberpunk RPG set in a hyper-capitalist climate-destroyed corporation-ruled Armageddon. Whoops. Cyborg is cyberpunk Mork Borg, and no, I don't think I'm oversimplifying it. The difference, of course, is that while Mork Borg was a dystopian fantasy doom metal apocalypse, Cyborg is a dystopian futuristic synth metal apocalypse whose setting has been apocalypsed about 5 or 6 times by now and takes place in one surviving city, the Psy. A megapolis ruled by the rich with privatized police and a sky that's completely blocked out by holographic advertisements. Once upon a time, this was considered social commentary, but now barely counts as escapism. Well, darn, I'm doing it again. The city districts swerve across every genre where the rich get to drink water and the lower class lives off nutrients paste. Locales include a roadside picnic, a Clockwork Orange, Eraserhead, Blade Runner, Alabama, Hunger Games, and some Robocop and Dread spattered in between it all. Everyone and everything is plugged into the net, a Shadowrun-esque network which is of course riddled with more ads, viruses, advanced rogue AI, and alien nanobot technology from space that can blue screen your mind. So if you played Mork Borg, or really any OSR game, you more or less know what you're getting into rules-wise. Simple rules, deadly gameplay. I actually feel like the cyberpunk genre is a good fit for the Borg series of games. In Mork Borg, you can only get so creative with a sword and a locket of gingivitis or whatever, and would often have situations where your only options were taking turns smacking with 1d2 damaged cardboard tubes, or casting a scroll with as much likelihood of nuking the enemy as there is of turning you into a cupcake. In Cyborg, there's a little more in between. Having cybertech toys gives interesting options to non-spellcasters and opens the door to even weirder solutions and more creative storytelling. In some of my games, the players hacked a guy's brain so he went berserk and killed his workmates, sent their drone to fight the guards while they snuck around back, and the classic, taking a picture of a room and holding it in front of a security camera so it looks like everything is fine. Lots of creative options, but if all you do is shoot guns, yeah, you're pretty much just still taking turns smacking each other, just with bullets instead of swords. It's Mork Borg, but neon purple and blue. It feels like Mork Borg DLC, if anything. It's like those D&D mods that don't add much gameplay or mechanics, but everything has its name changed to reference another franchise or genre. Omens are now glitches, spells and scrolls are now apps and nanotech, arcane catastrophes are now backlashes and infestations, and the lovely misery calendar is back as miserable headlines. I never liked said D&D modules for this because I'm one of those why don't you try another system assholes, but Mork Borg's brutal simplicity already befits the setting's vibe as is, so not much has to be changed. A few core issues remain with the sameness though. The game's flashy art design still makes looking for specific references very stressful, but bigger for me is the same combat thing, where once you've gone through your abilities and special items, the game becomes roll to hit, then roll for armor, then roll for ammo, repeat until combat over. Armor and ammo kind of drove me insane after a while. I'm used to rolling for armor and systems, but for some reason this time around it just felt too pace-breaking. I can't believe it, but it made me miss D&D's armor class system for how quick it is to use during gameplay. Don't get me wrong, by sheer volume of new toys and powers, there are a lot more options. Apps and cybertech upgrades give a lot of options for your Adam Jensen stand-in, and nanotech powers knock off Akira pretty well. But because you have to roll every time you use these powers, and because players will fail rolls a lot, and consequences for failure can implode the fabric of reality, those particular power fantasies are unlikely. Which veterans of the genre will understand and appreciate, but newcomers might feel a bit teased when their career hacker dies from failing to hack a McDonald's ice cream machine. Mind you, I'm practically a Borg veteran by now. I think the backlash and infestation tables are sick as hell, and a lot more forgiving than Mork Borg. But I understand players feeling bait and switched by the useful to deadly ratio of their own abilities. There are optional rules, like hits always doing at least 1 damage regardless of armor, or laying suppressive fire to make NPCs react. Interesting options and gameplay quirks that might change the gameplay enough to make it deeper or more abrupt as you please. I didn't try these rules out, but it's always nice seeing games inherently adding gameplay options if people like me don't find the combat stimulating. Overall, however, this game didn't grab me as much as its predecessor, mainly because I'm not a great cyberpunk fan, but also I already have Mork Borg, and while this game has a lot more flavor and choices, the choices aren't different enough for me to stop playing that. There isn't much I can complain about the system that I can't complain about OSR principles in general. I like Cyborg because it's fast and leaves so much room for interpretation, but without having mechanics that reflect a genre or tools to make them do so, I'm kind of getting burnt out. It's nice that the rules don't get in the way of roleplay and storytelling, but they don't add much to them either. Obviously there's tables, items, and setting descriptions, but this genre has plenty of those already. I can't ask more of the Borg games, because the point kind of is that you're not looking for something different. You're looking for something familiar with a new vibe, and as far as that goes, Cyborg is just as beautiful as its predecessor. Johan Nohr's art is, as always, clearly made with love and artistic intent, making it a fantastic collector's item regardless. And the gameplay is still chaotic, violent, conceptually absurd fun that I and my players did enjoy. And plus, the community is huge by this point, and extremely friendly, so if you're looking to join a Doomsday cult, there are worse ones out there. In fact, I'd say if you want this game is based on two really simple questions. Do you like the cyberpunk genre? And do you like Mork Borg? If yes, you'll like it. If no, you won't. Man, reviewing things is easy peasy. I am so good at this. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope you get a game in this week. Take care.